All right, Mr. David, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for the agenda. And let me do that. All righty.
Are we ready?
Mhm.
Okay, good evening,
Sorry,
everybody.
go on.
You ready, Jordan? Yeah, okay. Okay, I have 6:03 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order at this time. And at this time I will take roll call. So if I call your name, please answer. Margie Creel,
Present?
Susan Baca, Mr. Patrick Segura.
Present. Present.
Okay, thank you. LaDonna Sando. LaDonna Sando. And Dave Toledo, I am here. Okay, thank you, everybody. And just for your information too, I have asked Margie to assist me in our first meeting since she's an expert at running the school board meetings.
I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
so I asked her to just be on standby in case I need a little bit of assistance.
Yes, I'll be glad to help you.
Okay.
And I had one question. I believe when you approve the agenda, if you want the new member to be able to vote, you can move the approval of the new board member right under after meeting minutes, or like right before the finance committee, and then they can start voting on things. You don't have to do it way at the end if you want to, or you can keep it.
Okay. So do we have a possible name that we might vote on? I've heard two or three names, just in case we get that far.
It doesn't look like anybody else is here currently, but LaDonna just joined us, just so the record can show.
For roll call,
If Margie has to leave early, it'd be better to do that first so that she's here to help vote them in and we have.
It doesn't look like that person's here just yet.
Okay, gotcha.
Angie. Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll introduce him and then we'll,
I see LaDonna.
and then we'll
logged
vote
up.
on him. Is that how we're going to do it? Okay. She said she's logging in from her girls' game, so
She said
She is
she's
here,
here,
though.
but she's at
Okay.
the girls' game,
Oh, okay.
so she's listening.
So LaDonna has joined us from a different location. Thank you, LaDonna. And moving on to number 3, opening activities. Vote on whether to approve the December 16 agenda.
This is Margie Krill. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for December 16th meeting for tonight.
Okay, motion has been made by Margie Creel for the December 16th agenda.
This is Patrick. I second.
Okay. Okay, Patrick Segura has seconded. So the agenda has been approved, right, Margie?
We have to go around and ask everyone
Oh,
if they
okay.
agree because of that new ruling
Right.
that they put in. So we just have to agree. Yes.
Margie, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Patrick, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
LaDonna, do you agree? LaDonna? And this is David. I agree. So all those in favor, right?
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. And all those that oppose, same sign. Okay. Agenda has been approved. Thank you. Moving on to 3B, vote on whether to approve the November 18 meeting minutes. If you get a chance, can you review the November 18 minutes?
And then LaDonna's gonna put in the chat if she agrees, and I can state what she says in the chat. That way she doesn't have to get off microphone every time.
That would be good, but who's ever scrolling the meeting, can you slow down a minute? Thank you. Because I didn't get to see the minutes. Okay, you can go ahead and scroll up. Okay. Okay, that's good. You can call for a vote on that November meeting minutes, Dave.
Okay, thank you. Okay, at this time, we'll go ahead and have a vote on the November 18th.
You need
minutes.
a motion.
Oh, we need a motion. I'm sorry.
I don't
Do
think
we have a
anyone.
motion?
This is Patrick. I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Okay, thank you, Patrick.
And this is Margie. I'll second it.
Motion made by Patrick and seconded by Margie. Thank you. All those in favor, right? Patrick, do
No,
you
you
approve?
just ask if everyone agrees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does everyone agree to approve the?
But you have to go each person. Yeah.
All right. Patrick, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Thank you, sir. Margie, Creel, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
LaDonna, do you agree? What was that?
She said I agree.
Okay. This is Dave Toledo. I agree on the November 18 minutes.
And I agree.
Okay. Okay. That
Thank
was
you.
Adonis. All right.
LaDonna agrees.
All right. So that motion carries then.
Okay, the motion carries for the minutes for November 18th. Thank you. At this time, we'll go to number 4, public comments. And if there's any public comments, they'll be limited to 3 minutes. Do we have any public comments at this time? Any public comments? If there's none, we'll move on to item 5, going to the Finance Committee report. Angie?
I believe, Jodan, can you give me the ability to share?
I think you should have it now. Go ahead and check.
I do. Okay. Okay, here is the finance report. Can everyone see it? We do have 9 bars, and these are due to we have the draft audited financials. We cannot discuss the audit, but PD does allow me to put in the bars from the financial statements. So I was able to do that. So 5I is an increase to operational, and this is due to when we first project carryover from last year to this year. We always try and err on the caution of saying that we're going to carry over less than what we think so that we can have an increased bar versus taking out money. So we have an increased bar because we spent less money last year than what we anticipated. So we have 58,973 and 62 cents. And I just was cleaning up account codes that were negative. You cannot put, for operational, you cannot increase in any salary or benefit codes. So I have a maintenance bar at the end to fix any of those. It's just that fund you're not allowed to put towards salaries when you have an increase. It's just put in the law that you can't do that. So we'll have a maintenance bar clean up a little bit more on operational later down. But this was just putting money where we needed to that was showing negative. 7D is a decrease on SB9. We did end up spending a little bit more than what we anticipated last year for carryover. So the decrease is 11,564. We're not losing money. We just spent the money last year compared to carrying over this year. And then we have an increase in the 25145 fund, which is impact aid special education of 6,543. And we put it towards using it for a diag and supplies for special ed. 9I is an increase. We did not use all of our instructional materials special appropriation. This was a special grant that we got maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and we still have 1,399 left. So I put it towards software because there's only a certain amount of codes that you can use for that fund. 10I is an increase for SB9 special match, $12,065.55. And we put that towards supply assets, 5,000 or less, which would either be furniture or computers. 11I is an increase in activities fund by 2,489, and we put that towards contracted services and supplies. 13D is a decrease in food service. We did try and anticipate how much we would bring in last year, and we were just off by this amount because we also did not get April, May, and June's reimbursements got put into our account this fiscal year after July versus last fiscal year. So that kind of played a part in having the carryover be negative as well. So I took out money in the salary codes for food service, and that was taking out 28,285. We should see increased bars for food service later on in the year once we start getting money from Walatoa from doing their food services. But for right now, this is making the budget correct as per the audit. So when we do increases based off of that, I'll put the increases in salaries for that one, which is allowable. It's just not allowable to increase salaries in operational with an increased bar. Don't ask me why, it's just written in the law. The next bar is 12I, which is Medicaid. We did get some carryover funds because we did get some money for that fund. It's 11,218, and I put that towards an account code that we're using for nursing services. 15M is the maintenance bar that I was talking about, where I'm fixing some account codes that were salaries or liabilities based off where I put where we had extra money. So I'm fixing some account codes that needed extra money in it, just to make the budget look nice and pretty now. And those were all of the bars. Were there any questions on the bars? The next sheet is let me decrease, hold on just a second. Okay. Next is the all of our graphs. So you can see that we have our expenditures to date. We're pretty much budgeted for the full amount in food service. We're spending pretty much all of our federal flow through bars, we're going to work on encumbering all of that, as well as the state and direct. And you can see the revenue. We've started to collect some revenue. I have been doing the request for reimbursements monthly. And there was a grant that expires December 31st, and we've already spent it all and collected all the money. So we're not in danger of losing any money. And this is our yearly expenditure based on from this year to last year. You can see we're kind of closely the same. All Novembers have been around the same amount. So we're kind of stagnant on the spending on there. And that this number right here, spending per student, will keep increasing once we keep spending money. So that'll increase. We have been spending the most money in instruction and instruction support, which is teachers' salaries and any supplies that go to help for students, which is good. And then the most out of that area is salaries for teachers and EAs and all the support staff, which is what PD wants to see. Here on our liquidity, it's been around the same since last month at a 2.5. This is one of our growth years where we're trying to, situate the budget so that we can be stable on our carryover. And Greg, I, and Joe Dan have been working on doing that with the budget so that we keep a good carryover amount right there. Are there any questions on the graphs? Here is the check report. I'm going to increase my screen a little bit so you can see the checks. This everything that's broken down on the checks is on the next screen, but this is just the big picture of all the checks cut. If there's any questions?
I just wanted to go back a little bit. I don't have a question, but if you see my name, this is Margie. If you see my name on the check report, they issued me a check for the $150 because I paid for the room that we had our board retreat at. So that was reimbursement to me for that. So, and I don't really see anything.
It's on there. It's not letting me highlight, but it's
oh, there it is. I see.
Midway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
13154.
Okay, and I cashed it. Yeah. So okay.
And then here, let me decrease this so you guys can read. Here's the breakout of what we spent all the money on each check. Delaying Landon is the copier. Let me know if I'm scrolling too fast. ACEs, there was one check, but it was for multiple things, including K-12's bill. It looks like IEP meeting, and we have some special ed paid through CES as well.
Can you scroll up real quick? That first entry.
MLSS / stat coordinator.
No, the first page up. Keep going. Keep going.
This one.
Yeah, that's CPR care tactics. What's that?
That is, all schools are required to carry a kit that you could do CPR or a defibrillator. There was a law passed where they need one in every school just in case there's a medical emergency.
Yeah, we've never seen that before, so thanks for catching that, Patrick. And thanks for letting us know, Angie, because yes, I haven't seen that before. Was it just recently passed?
Yes, for this school year.
Okay. And that's what we paid for it?
Yes, it says carrying case including CRP prep kit, inspection tag, and decal, which is the defibrillator. And Joe Dan, did people get trained on CPR?
So most of the folks that we have on staff have a 2-year CPR.
Okay.
And I think they're all good. I know mine expire. I think almost all of us expire next year, so we'll have to go embark
Okay.
on that. And then we'll get the AED training as well. That unit we have not received that unit yet, so we're waiting for that to come in.
And as far as the training for that, Dave Ryan up there might be able to help you out, or even like the insurance carrier,
Mhm.
like company insurance. A lot of times they'll do free CPR AED training. Save a couple of bucks.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, Patrick. I'll reach out to them. Palms and Associates, who we're with, usually offers that training, so we'll make sure we go the free route for sure.
Right. And also,
And
Palms does offer it if you want it, but I think they might charge.
also the clinic, Hamus Health and Human Services, they offer it too, I believe, for free for
yeah.
us. Right.
Yes.
And as far as the inspection goes on those things, is I know we don't have a safety officer here for our school, but um, the Pueblo has a safety officer or a clinic maybe can extend their services just to make sure they're up to date and the pads are not expired and all that stuff.
Yeah, that would be great. Maybe I can reach out to you guys and once we get everything set up and see what the best route is. Yeah, I think that'd be great to help us out.
All right. No questions. That's it. Thank you.
I'll scroll through a little bit. Let me go to the third page and then I'll slow down. Let me know if there's the APTA fund. That's an extra amount that we pay for so that employees can input leave year apart. And then you can see here that's G's reimbursement. It says that she paid for that. And that was all of the checks. Were there any questions on any more checks? These are all just the liability checks that are payroll liabilities and insurance. And then here's the account summary report for revenue. And we have started getting money back from all of the grants. I have been submitting them and they have been paying them. We have not had any problems with getting the money back. So that's good. And then here's the account summary report for all the expenditures. We're fixing most of these negatives with those 2 bars that I have for operational. I'm going to scroll kind of fast through all these account codes unless someone has a question on one of them. But all those bars do fix up pretty much all of our budget. And then here is the statement of revenue and expenditures and change in fund balance. And then here's our bank reconciliation report where you can see the finance manager from K-12 prepares it and then I review it and approve it. These are all the checks that were cleared in November. And then you can see right here, all these that say RFR and then a number. These are all the requests for reimbursements that have been coming in. So we steadily have been getting all of them back. I try and get them in before the 10th of every month. They want them in kind of like before the 15th. And then here is our outstanding check report. We're still having 2 checks from a prior teacher that he does say that he has them, but we don't know when he's going to cash them. But we don't want to reissue them and then he wait longer to cash them. They're going to be good until next July. We just kind of want him to cash them before end of year. All the rest after that are pretty much October and November. There's one for Melissa for reimbursement from August though, a $10 one.
Hey, Angie, I
Yes.
see that I still have an outstanding one for 52.
I can check to see if you've cleared it since then, because
Okay.
if you cleared it in December, it's not going to show up on this one.
Okay. Yeah, just give me a call tomorrow and
Yeah,
let me know
yeah, I
if I
can
can
check.
look for it.
Just giving them money away. And then here is the bank reconciliation. These are just all the account liability account codes dealing with the bank reconciliation. And then here's our bank statement. You can see these are all the wire transfers from the state. And then here is pictures of all the checks that went through. And that was it. I'm going to scroll up to the top so you can. The meeting minutes need to read all of the bar numbers, but I can help whoever's writing the meeting minutes on the bar numbers, because you really only need to say the last two portions, 5I, 7D, 8I. The other part of the bar number is the school code and the school year.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Angie, this is Margie, and I'll go ahead and make a motion for the finance report. But can you enlarge that bar page for me real quick so I can see it? Yeah, that's good. Okay. So this is Margie. I make a motion to accept the finance report that Angie just gave. Thank you for that, Angie, and all of the cash disbursements and the bank reconciliation. Also to accept the bars. We have 9 bars. Is it 5I, the first one? Yeah, you
Yes.
said 7D, 8I, 9I, 10I, 11I, 12I, 13D, and 15M. Those are all the bars that she went over. So I make a motion to accept that in all the financial reports that I stated. So,
This is Patrick, and I second accepting all the bars in the financial report.
okay, and then David just will ask if everyone agrees. Yeah. Mhm. David, you could just ask if everyone agrees.
Oh, you're on mute, David. I think he was talking, but he's on mute.
He'll unmute in a minute.
I think he's trying to.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, having some phone problem. Okay, I believe you said Margie has made a motion and for the financials that Angie has given.
Right. Right.
Yes. And Patrick had seconded.
Yes,
Correct?
that's correct.
So next step would be all those in favor, right?
Yeah. Just ask each person if they agree. Yeah.
Okay, Margie, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. Patrick, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, and this is David. I agree also. Thank you, Angie. Thank you for your report. That's a lot of information. You guys
Yes.
have been busy down there.
Yes.
So thank you for doing a great job and keep up the good work.
You want to ask,
Margie.
Do we get
yes,
LaDonna on that vote?
can you ask
Oh,
LaDonna if she agrees? Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. LaDonna, do you agree with the financial
Yes,
support?
I agree.
Thank you, LaDonna. LaDonna agrees. So
Motion carried.
motion has carried.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay. You can go to the next item on the agenda. Mhm.
Um, my screen is acting up.
So David, it looks like it's the introduction of prospective new board members. I texted North Bear. He did not get back to me. I think it's appropriate for the board to just vote to table this for the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
This is Margie, and I vote to table the introduction of prospective new board members at this time.
Okay. Margie has made a motion to table the introduction of new possible new board members for the next meeting.
And this is Patrick, and I second that motion.
Thank you, Patrick. Patrick seconded. All those in favor? Margie?
Yes, I agree.
Patrick?
Yes, I agree.
LaDonna?
I agree.
And this is David. I agree also. So motion has been carried to move the item to the next board meeting next month. Thank you. And at this time, we'll move down to the executive director principal's report. Mr. Joel Down.
All right, folks. I appreciate it. Looks like we're going to be ending this meeting in record time, but I'd like to yield some of my time to one of my former colleagues, a good friend. I know Patrick had the pleasure of working with him as well. He's a true professional, a person who really cares deeply about kids and the advancement of education in our state. And again, it's a great pleasure to have my good friend David Brown here with us tonight. So I'm going to yield some of my time in this report. David's going to be speaking to the board on a research project that he would like to pursue with San Diego Riverside Charter School, which I think would give us some really great free advertisement, dare I say, and also shine some light on some of the things that we'd like to improve within the school. So, David, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Hey, thank you, Jodan, so much. And hello, everyone, chair, members of the board. I do appreciate your time tonight, and I'll try to keep it short. I do appreciate, again, the opportunity to speak such short notice. As Jodan said, my name is David Brown, and I am a K through 12 special education teacher at this point. I'm in my 15th year across public, private, charter schools. I've had the pleasure to work with Patrick and Jodan in my first year in New Mexico a few years ago. Currently, I'm completing my doctorate in public administration at Valdosta State University in Georgia. And at this point, I'm looking for a place to conduct my doctoral dissertation research. And tonight, I'd like to briefly introduce at least a proposal and at least ask permission for that. I'd have to have in IRB approval. But at this point, obviously speaking to you, and as Jodan said, my authentic and earnest engagement with having the opportunity to pick a place to do in-person research rather than just crunch data and numbers elsewhere and kind of from behind the scenes. This means a lot to me to have the opportunity to have an in-person site to conduct this kind of research. So in short, the proposed project would be a cultural analysis of San Diego Riverside Charter School, the purpose of which would be to understand how organizational culture, such as shared values, beliefs, traditions, daily practices, how all of those things shape the decision making of the school, build relationships, and the overall functioning of the school, as well as teacher and student performance, kind of within that. The type of study in this case would examine both the espoused values. What I mean by that are what the school believes in and says it believes in and prioritizes, as well as the enacted values, meaning those values that are more reflected in the everyday practice and routine. And in this way, it would be a descriptive and reflective study. I would want to point out this is not an evaluation. This would not be used, in any way, shape, or form for auditing purposes. It's not a compliance review. It's not written in that way. It wouldn't even seek to, collect data in terms of analyzing certain, budgetary functions, let's say, and those types of specific elements of organizational practice. It As Jodan mentioned, one of the significant benefits of this kind of work, though, is that it would provide the school and the broader community with a documented snapshot, really with an opportunity to show off cultural strengths that really go unrecorded, maybe taken for granted, not by people in the community, but even the idea of wanting to show off those kind of values. And in many ways, schools do have strong traditions and a lot of shared practices and incredibly deep community connections and participation, but they really don't have the time or the budget or really the ability or time, desire, a lot of those things to formally capture those elements and make the presentation. So this study would help articulate how the school's mission and the overall values are kind of lived out in that practice, supported by reflection and long-term institutional memory would be kind of the goal there. Because ultimately, this hopefully would be published if I would pass my defense of the project and really the methodological approach of the study. I'd also want to share that this is not my first experience conducting this specific type of work. I just recently completed a cultural analysis and this kind of organizational snapshot at a different tribal school in New Mexico where I worked last year. And within the confines of the community and working closely with tribal leaders, the tribal administration, and the school leadership and administration, I was able to not only put together a well-formed report, but also kind of gain the experience to approach this next and more broader project with care, humility, and much more attention to detail. And really, obviously, as I said, with the experience of now knowing what I want to do for this kind of dissertation and end of study project. In addition to the dissertation, I would be guided, or in addition to my own research, I would be guided by an experienced committee that would include a Native American scholar and tribal member, along with other faculty who are experienced in public administration and education research and education policy research specifically, as well as organization, culture, and administrative practices and qualitative research. So I've tried to put together the best committee, and I've already asked them what they've thought about this specific type of location, on-site research, the timeline, all of those things. And they're very excited about this kind of research as well. And really, in particular, the uniqueness of this research. There's not a lot of published research concerning at least administrative and educational administrative practices for tribal schools or tribal affiliated schools. But really the idea of the educational and administrative blend between the two, it's a little bit new, at least in this approach. And overall, with your permission and if approved by the IRB, the research would take place starting as early as this coming spring to finish out the 25-26 school year. Data would be collected a variety of different low impact ways. I'd use standard research methods. Basically, this would look like on-site observations during regular school activities, as well as selected cultural activities or community events. With tribal permission, if I had the opportunity to be a part of things that were off campus, basically, that would be a broader included element of this study. But if not, the school goings and really operational procedures and those types of things would be the heart of this study. There would be an anonymous digital survey for staff and faculty, a voluntary focus group, which would also likely be virtual. There would be also a review of any publicly available and school-approved documents, mission statements, handbooks, teacher policy, policy materials, things like budget snapshots, attending board meetings like tonight, those types of things in terms of general observation or recorded review. I would also point out that participation at any point it would be voluntary to start, but at any point it would also be able to revoke participation. And at that point, the study essentially could be stopped, or at least elements of the study could then be opted out in terms of publication, or being excluded at a later time if it was for whatever reason just not good. Um, Otherwise, participation in all aspects of the study at any point, again, like I said, would be voluntary and entirely confidential. The research would be conducted under the full institutional review board approval, which would formally come through the Valdosta State University process. And again, that would happen in the spring. But at least initially, I wanted to ask your permission here tonight, or at least get the ball rolling with your thought process. No individual students, I should say, unless staff members wanted to individually identify themselves, like in focus group. Otherwise, no individual staff members or board members would be identified in the final publication. Everything would be anonymized and aggregated in terms of the data and final presentation of results. Um, and then in terms of my anticipated overall timeline, the data collection, as I said, would start next spring and continue throughout the remainder of the school year, potentially into the summer. But if not, the analysis and overall writing process would start at the end of next semester, end of the school year. Throughout the summer, I would conduct an independent study with one of my dissertation members, basically the chair, as well as my school advisor. I'd start the writing process. Hopefully, that would be done either the end of the summer or early in the following fall, and then publication after a dissertation review and defense would happen hopefully at the end of 2026, if not early 2027. So again, overall, I would anticipate several in-person visits. Those would all be coordinated in advance to ensure minimal disruption for daily operation, as well as document review and some of those things at the complete leisure of school administration, staff, faculty, the board itself. I would obviously serve and do this completely on your time. So overall, this evening, I again am respectfully requesting your permission to at least consider this proposal and proceed with the study. I would need overall IRB approval to begin anything official, so there would be a lot of time for you to ask questions tonight if you needed, or to discuss this another night. No rush on making any formal decision from you, but also, if helpful, I'm here to answer any questions tonight, as well as share a summary of findings, or be invited back, if possible, to board meetings to discuss how things are going next semester. But at the end of the project, essentially before final publication, I certainly can share anything that you would be interested in knowing along that way. But again, thank you for your time. And at this point, I yield the rest of the floor.
David, thank you so much. And just so the board knows too, this is a great opportunity for us to embark on. The timing is perfect because we are going to start our charter renewal in January. As far as gathering evidence and data that we want to present to the Public Education Commission a year from January. And so I think the information that you're going to be able to utilize can be used multiple ways and can really help our school with what we're looking to achieve as far as charter renewal over the next year. And again, it's also a great opportunity to uh, gather data on how we can improve some of the things in the school that we maybe I don't get to see as a charter leader. And it'll be great to work with David again. Working with him as a special education educator. It's nice to have another set of eyes that has that kind of experience and care when approaching education for our kiddos. So again, I just want the board to know that you don't have to officially approve anything that I know right now. I will talk with Bridget Russell to see if there's anything that the board needs to vote on tonight. It's an introduction for Mr. Brown, and what I would like to do is bring you back in January. This will give me an opportunity to visit with Dr. Russell a little bit more. Um, and I think it's still in good faith that the board still kind of, send their blessings your way to be able to conduct this research at the school.
I look forward to coming back.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. This is Margie Krill. I'm the vice chair of this board, and so you're from Valdosta University. Is that the Blazers? Is that your mascot?
That
It's like
is, yeah, the Go
like
Blazers. Way to
you don't
go.
have an accent, yeah. So, so you don't have a Georgia
I'm
accent.
not from Georgia. I originally am from
Okay.
Texas, and now my wife and I have lived in New Mexico 3 years, but the program I attend, yes, is in Georgia. That's awesome.
Can you can you tell us like the tribal schools that you worked with before for your
Yeah,
previous?
absolutely. Yeah, the last year, and I was still employed by Okewinge Community School. So I was the special education coordinator and essentially the special education teacher there at the K through 6 elementary school. And this last semester that just concluded essentially is when I finished this a smaller design of this scale, basically, but essentially the same kind of document review, observation, those kind of things, just from more the insider perspective compared to the outsider perspective I would have for the dissertation. But essentially, I worked at that community school from October of 24 until just actually November, when I've now transferred over to Carlsbad High School as a virtual IEP case manager. But um, that was a
At Carlsbad, New
transformative.
Mexico?
Well, I'm sorry.
Carlsbad, New Mexico High School?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Good. That's so you're still in New Mexico then.
Yeah,
Even
I've changed a lot actually from the three schools and then almost finishing out the 3 years. But at Okewinge, that was really by far the most transformative experience, or at least one in which I was able to blend firsthand the teachings and experiences from the doctoral program, as well as what I'm doing and trying to accomplish as a special education teacher. I'm not in an education program per se. It's not an educational doctorate. In this case, it's a doctorate of public administration, a DPA. It's a little more practitioner based, but I am approaching the dissertation itself from education policy. Most of my track and electives have had to do with education policy analysis. I did a little bit of a research policy like this that had to do with teacher retention when I was with Jodan at Turquoise Trail. At a school that I was at in Texas before moving here, I tried to do a little bit of research as well when I was finishing my master's. So I've included places that allowed me on site, or at least that I had that authentic connection. And the opportunity to at least complete this kind of project here, I thought was unique, both because of uh, where this charter school is located, but also because I had charter school experience.
that's good. The only thing that you were talking about, like not using any names or grades or students and all,
Of
because if
course.
you do have to use them, then we do have to get permission by their parents, so we don't have a FERPA violation or anything like that. But I believe it's okay, like you said, if the staff or a board or anybody wants to be named in this, as long as you have their permission, then that would be okay too. I think so. All right. Well, thanks for being here and thank you for listening all through our board meeting and having to stay here to listen to this. But I'll go ahead and see if anyone else has any questions for you. But thank you.
Yeah, of course, my pleasure.
Mr. Brown, it's Patrick. Good to see you again.
Hey, you too.
Yeah, welcome. So congratulations on continuing your education. One of the questions I have real quick is when you were up in Okewinge, when you completed your final report or the project that you're working on at the time, did you have to get approval from the governor's office or from tribal council before you disseminated or any of that information, or did you have to go through the Pueblo?
If I would seek publication, certainly. So at this point, because the class essentially just finished within the last week and the final draft was submitted for my, I should say this project that I did the last semester was for a class. So it was not something in this case I'm seeking out as my final project, or the dissertation would be a published document in order to even pass, and graduate and earn that title. So what I did last year had a lot less risks in terms of confidentiality, and the way I conducted it was much more informal, as I said, from that insider perspective. But absolutely, I did conduct it with their permission. I talked to Dr. Martinez, who's one of the tribal administration members and the Department of Education board director, or leader. And in that way, they either helped me through the process of gathering certain data that didn't relate to the school directly, attending feast days, or at least talking about some budget processes that also had to do with the grant writing class that I was doing. So I was proposing a pilot program that I was writing a kind of draft grant for the tribe. So I was working kind of with them related to that project as well. In this particular project, I would say in a perfect world, both for the benefit of the project itself, but that's not to say selfishly, as Joe Dan said, more importantly and significantly for the benefit of the Pueblo, if there was an approach where it was not just the school's operational capacity and really the culture of organizations or um, I would say like the heart of the school, the charter school, would really be the heart of the project. But if you could observe and if the culture really tied into school practices, which would include offsite observation and those kinds of things, I think that would make this an incredibly rich project. And I think there are a lot less risks in terms of well, I don't think there's really any risks to either the Pueblo or the school specifically, but in terms of the opportunities and the significance for sharing positive aspects of the culture, that's really what my committee chair member, um, who I both have my advisor, but then I sought out someone specific to, as I said, a Native American scholar who's a member of a tribe himself in the South Georgia area. He's incredibly intrigued by this opportunity and warned me of the risks of at least or the pitfalls in gathering data, let's say. But the idea that this project would be an opportunity to share positive aspects of Native American culture at this time in American history, especially, much less just because there's not a lot of publications on it, especially from the aspect of administrative capacities and governmental capacities and those kind of things. But again, purely with my affiliation as a teacher and studying educational sites in the past. I think this is an incredibly, significant opportunity. Again, I thank you for at least having the chance to talk to you about it tonight.
No, and
Much
thank you.
less
And
get to all those sites. But go ahead. Sorry, Patrick.
no, no, no. So I mean, I worked with a young lady several years back, and she was completing her master's program here at the University of New Mexico, and she was kind of preparing to go into her doctoral program, same here at UNM. So when she was preparing to do her thesis, it was on the criminal justice system, and it was in a local pueblo here. Um, and she pitched the idea to the governor's office at the time. They approved it. So when she completed her master's and was going to go on to the doctoral, the governor's office changed, and the thought process, I guess, of the new governor's office that had come in um, kind of derailed what she wanted to do. So they kind of had the mindset of it's proprietary, the information, and they did not want to disseminate. And I mean, it was all under good light. For several tribal programs that were working through the tribal court system, uh, and I was working for the police department at the time. But yeah, it kind of changed her direction because she couldn't just like what you're talking about here. She
Makes
couldn't.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of hit a wall. So she ended up, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. Again, she was on track from her master's into her doctorate, and I don't know what the end result was. She ended up leaving, and she worked for the tribal court. So that would be my fear is that you would get approval now and people are cool, but in a year or something like that, things change, and is there a possibility that you can't you know publish your work? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just
Understood. Yeah, absolutely. I would approach it from two angles. Obviously, being before you all now today, if the project is very limited in scope, or if it can be broadened depending on approvals, and really permissions, but also to completely, reiterate at this point, before anything is shared, even just conversationally outside of this, board meeting, anything can be anonymized, anything along the way without having kind of fully the rug jerked, out from under me or from the project. Parts of that can be changed, not not change, but can be excluded, let's say. There's a project goal, there's really a publication, page limit that they're looking for. They want certain elements of the methodology of the qualitative research to be, sound. There's, some elements of previous teaching that I want to include in this, previous study, basically a literature review that I've done kind of already on these types of studies, at least, or charter school, small rural charter schools, and now that tribal element and administrative element makes it even, kind of more unique. But there's some things that I can do definitely to keep it, specific to the school. But I do appreciate that.
And me personally, Dave, I'm very supportive of these types of uh, projects. When I was doing my master's, and I was focusing on uh, you know tribal criminal justice systems, and I mean, I spent a very long time, months and months and months, scouring scholarly sources, right, looking for all these studies of tribal entities, of governments, and it's just not well studied. Whether it's like I said, the proprietary, people are less likely to share information, so it was difficult to gather information from tribal communities because it's people don't want to share. It's just not there. These studies aren't done. So I think it's really cool that you're going to have kind of this tribal perspective, rules perspective. Um, I'm I would be totally supportive of it.
Again, yeah, I appreciate that. Concurrently, I will ask, okay, Wingate, for his support now that I'm through the process of the final draft. I would have to add some extra elements and, but essentially with their support in the spring, I will seek to publish it as a case study, essentially a much smaller version of a larger project like this dissertation would be, which would be exciting to have two of these types of things that had just concluded or kind of going at the same time. But I,
This is Margie. I didn't want to interrupt too much, but I
no, you're
just want
fine.
to move on. I just want to tell you that thank you for the presentation, and that we'll have to work it out. And like Patrick had said, like probably we would get permission from tribal council or governors or all that. Now governors here change every year, and new governors are going to come in and be installed on January 6th. But the best thing is the tribal council is there for life. And David Toledo, our board chairperson, he is on the tribal council. So it might be best to get approval maybe from the tribal council, not so much as per se a governor if it takes more than 1 year to get through the process. And our Pueblo has been studied from way back from inception. Probably we've been in over 120 years as a school there on the Pueblo. It was first a mission school, a Catholic mission school, and there's a lot of information at Marquette University about our school. There's photos and pictures from starting back. We became a public charter school in, I believe it was the fall of 1999 when we started as a public charter school, and we're no longer a Catholic mission school. So we've had the school ongoing ever since, its first inception. So we can, like I said, talk more about it later, but in the essence of time and all that, I don't know if we just discuss it as a board later, vote on it or whatever, but thank you for your presentation, and we'll just move on from now, like you said, and invite you to the next meeting. Okay.
Of course. Thank you so much.
David,
Thank you.
thank you. Appreciate you being here. I'm going
Can
to go
you,
ahead and go through the rest of the executive director's principal report fairly quickly. Most of this stuff is repeat. So chess club, we're trying to get that started back up on Fridays. The gentleman that offered those services, I think there were just a bunch of disruptions over the last few weeks. So we're going to try to get that realigned in January. We got offered the opportunity to participate back in the NMPED summer reading program. So we're signed up and we're ready to go. We're ready to accept more kiddos and increase their reading scores. Students of the month, I'm going to go ahead and go back to our website here. For those of you that might be having trouble navigating our website, if you go to, there's two different websites. So if you Google San Diego Riverside, I know it's kind of confusing. There's one still to the valley, but they both communicate with each other. I think okay, not the best. But we started our students of the month. And so we have Regis Toledo, we have Ariana Fragua, we have Kaden Toya, and we have Alana Townsend. And so each teacher teaches two grade levels, and we ask them to pick one student from each of their class. So these are our students of the month for the month of November, and we'll be posting the ones for December as soon as we get back in January. If you want to come and navigate our website and to read a little bit more, you can come on in and read why these students were our students of the month for the month of November. And then just a quick reminder, since I'm here, because I know some folks were still a little confused. There's these items here, these yellow boxes on governing council Zoom. You can actually access the Zoom through this, or you can go through governing council, which will then take you to our governing council where we have our OMA statement or Open Meetings Act statement, and then our governing board and our governing council agenda and minutes, just in case you ever want to review those ahead of time or you want to access any documents that we've gone over. So I figured since I was there, I'd take the privilege of making sure we knew how to navigate that. Just always good to have a refresher. So back in NWEA MAPS assessments for middle of the year have concluded, and I'm excited to report that at a data glance, essentially about 84% of our students K through 8 received some or showed some kind of growth. Whether it's 1 point or in some cases, some students were making 17 and 24 point jumps. This is, I think, in part to some of the support that we've put in place over this school year, some of the new curriculums we brought in, because again, keep in mind, when I landed at this school a little over a year ago, a couple weeks ago, I didn't change much. I was really working on compliance. And so we brought in that reading program in the summer. We got new curriculums, new support systems, and our students have really stepped up and have done a great job. So we're going to have a data roll up and a PD regarding data on the 9th. That's the very first week that we come back from winter break. So we're excited to get all this information out to parents and share a positive story that our students are growing. They're making some big strides, and we're really, really excited to continue this growth into the last part of our school year, which will be the data that we use going into our renewal. So that's just a big thing that we need to make sure we keep in mind. That's why this is so important. We are going to use this data to tell our story in our charter renewal. Um,
I think
uh,
that's great data too. That's
It's
awesome.
really good. Oh, really good. And some of our students made gains. If I remember off the top of my mind, I had my cheat sheet and I didn't bring it with me. Out of, 9 grades, so we count kindergarten of that. I think 5 of the grades everybody made growth in 5 grades. And then I think in one of the other ones, 4 of the other ones, everybody 100% made growth total. So there's a big story to tell, and I'm looking forward to working with Dr. Nadine Torres with Charter School Services on rolling up this data and how our teachers are going to be able to utilize this to support our students through the rest of the school year. Um, Basketball schedule is going to be coming out. Coach Luis is finishing up with them. We are not going to have a middle school team, unfortunately. We do not have enough players. We had some players that decided they didn't want to play, but we are going to have a third through sixth grade Pueblo League. It's probably going to be a combination of boys and girls. And then eighth graders are able to play at the high school level, so they can either play for the district or Walatoa. And I know that some of our kiddos are going to be going over and playing Walatoa, and there's a game tonight going on right now where our eighth graders are that are playing for Walatoa Charter representing San Diego Riverside. So we're rooting for them in behind the scenes right now. Enrollment, we still need more students. We did have to make a reduction in staff, unfortunately, about 3 weeks ago with our front desk receptionist. And once we come back in January and February, I'll be working with Angie and Greg to decide if more reduction is going to be needed. Our big thing that I'm really excited for, we have our winter extravaganza on Friday. It's going to be from 4 to 6 p.m. We have an art gallery that's going to be on display. We have live music. We have local performers. Is it North Cloud? I believe, right? There's a dancing group that's local that's going to be doing some stuff with our students. We have Victoria Panana from the DNC project, a great vocalist, somebody who I'm familiar with, who's been working with our kiddos to sing. And then I'll be performing a few songs. So everybody, if you don't like how I sing, I would definitely bring your earmuffs. Okay, a lot of howling at the moon, and our big thing that we're really excited, starting a new tradition. We're gonna have a big bonfire, a good old fashioned bonfire, which again represents a lot to the people of the Pueblo. That guiding light, that light that lights up the world, lights up our students every single morning. And so the life-giving life, we're really excited to have that bonfire for our kiddos. And then let's see here, lease agreement. I don't know if Angie's still with us, but I take this. Yeah, I see Angie on here. I was excited. I got the email this morning, and we got our lease agreement approved for this school year and in record time. This may be the first time that we've gotten it done this
Yes.
quick, Angie.
Yes, we actually got it approved with the rest of the states. So they gave out the awards today around noon. So we'll have it on the January board meeting. But I think this is the first time we've gotten it approved the first round in like at least 3 years.
Awesome. Thank you,
So
Angie, for helping me
yay!
do that. That was a little bit of a task.
Yeah, Joe Jan did a lot of great work too, getting everything in. So yay!
Teamwork makes a dream work. Love it.
Yes, yes.
Appreciate it. I'm happy to say we're working on the 26, 27 lease. So we're working ahead of time right now. I want to make sure we do this right. And we're looking to get a 5-year lease. And we're going to send it to Dan Hill, our attorney, for review. I'm hoping to get that to him first thing in January. And that lease, if we are get that granted, it will start in 26 and it will go for 5 years. So we're looking forward to getting that done the right way. There's a PEC board celebration dinner. I talked to, oh my goodness, I talked to Consuelo this morning, and she said not a lot of folks have registered. It's on January the 31st, and it's from, I believe, 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. You get 1 hour of training by attending. It's a free dinner. There's a book that they're going to give all board members. I will be attending since I'm still on the board for
Where's it
small
going to be?
business.
What's the location?
It is let me bring it up here. I
Depending where
just
the food's going to be, we'll sign up.
let's see. And I'll send it back out in an email because their cutoff is the 21st, and that's when they need everybody registered. So I just added this. Oh, I hope I added it. I apparently did not add it, and I guess I didn't do it the right way. It's here in Albuquerque.
Okay. Is it
Give
at
me
a hotel? Is it at a school? Is it
It is. Give me one
the
second and
cafeteria?
I will pull that up for you. Yeah, and I think it's a great opportunity to, rub shoulders with
The PEC.
some of the other, yeah, the PEC. I had a great dinner with Rebecca Burke, our chair and our PEC commissioner for our region, and we had really great conversation. We have a lot of support up there, and I'm really excited for that.
So
Let me
we at the
see.
Hotel Choco,
Yes, Hotel Choco. Sorry, yes. I don't know. I put it in my calendar. I don't know why it's not there yet again.
from
Huh.
5 to 8 p.m. Yeah.
So what I'll do is tomorrow I'll send an email out to everybody so that you have that information and that you can RSVP because they did leave it open. The cutoff was in November, but they didn't get too many folks, and so they're still trying to recruit to make sure they can have a successful event. So I'll get you that information. Recruitment of new board members. I talked with David a little bit today. Remember, you need to be a little bit strategic with who you place on the board. We probably should reach out to Susan to see what her intentions are with either remaining on the board or doing something different. And we also need tribal council. We noticed that with the new charters, they specifically have an area for tribal council. And so we I talked with David about how to strategize. I'll leave that to David to talk to the board. Again, I don't want to meddle in some of that. All I'm doing is giving suggestions. It's still ultimately up to the board. But we're going to need some form. I would say we need to find somebody, either a governor, maybe possibly somebody on the
Yeah.
Department of Education for him as, because they're asking every school up for recharter, up for renewal, to have a tribal presentation or support, I should say, for that recharter. So if
Yep.
we're strategic in how we place certain folks on our board, this gives us the ability to ensure that our sustainability as a school is in the right place moving forward. Okay.
This is Margie, real quick. Our tribal consultation meetings for for our school and for the education and with the tribe and all that will probably take place after we get the new governors, because all the governors now are just winding down their agendas for the year and everything.
Yeah.
So we'll go first from there, and it depends on who it is, and then that's how the consultation will work, I believe. Yes, David will,
Yes.
like you said, let you know about that. So
And I
thank
reached out.
you.
Our meeting earlier in the year with Mr. Shendo counts as tribal consultation, so I'm documenting all of those meetings as well. Let's see. So that's for the new board members. And then down the road, we still want to get these Gmails issued. It's just a lot easier to communicate and send documents that way. So I'll work with Jensen. If I have time tomorrow or Thursday, I might be reaching out to each person individually and ensuring that you can get into your Gmail, so that you have documents in real time. Again, it's just a lot easier, and we don't have to publish out your personal email. We can keep everything internal, and you'll get a school issued email address. And that's kind of really all I have. We did get approved for our second performance framework goal. I'm happy to report that. There is a minor change. I'm waiting for them to send the documentation over for me to sign. Uh, but they liked it, they supported it, and so our second performance goal will be around that cultural arts project that we want to give students that are not able to do the TOA language. Give them that opportunity and be more equitable with the students that we serve, not just on the Pueblo, but the folks that want to come and join our school outside of the Pueblo. So that's my principal's report. I'll stand for any questions if anybody has any.
Joe Dan,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes.
I apologize. I'm having all kinds of issues over here with my sound system. Anyway, if I can go back and thank Mr. David Brown. I really enjoyed his presentation, and thank you to the board for giving him some really good comments afterwards. Margie and Mr. Seguro. Uh, I think it's really, really exciting if he can be a part of Riverside in the future. It's really, really good. It's exciting just to hear him talk. He has a lot of good energy. He has a lot of good experience from his travel, from his studies. So it'd be good to have a person with that kind of qualities here at the Riverside School to work with some of our kids and the staff. I think that'd be wonderful. Mr. Jordan, I really support him too as well. And also, thank you, Jordan, for your good presentation and all the wonderful things that you've done in one semester. Can you believe that? Awesome. That's really, really good. And, you know, just going back to the first semester when you first got here, uh, to today, you've made all kinds of progress. You would not take no for an answer. You kept coming to with different ideas, different ways to resolve things, even though, sometimes things may have gotten a little bit rocky. You never gave up, and you just got stronger as we went along. And I'm glad you are staying, and especially this come on the December 12th when you had tables out there at the plaza, all the people in the village, they saw a different side to the Riverside School. And I think we're gonna have a lot of people Friday down here at the bonfire and different activities happening.
Mhm.
Uh, I was with you when remember they were practicing the choir, where the kids are having a good time. It was wonderful. The kids were happy, energetic. Uh, Even the boys were singing, so it was really good. And when the kids go home, they tell their parents and the grandparents, "Hey, grandma, I was singing at school." So things like that, that's what carries into the village. Good vibes like that, and just good things. So hopefully it will be a result to bring more kids into Riverside because I know there's wonderful things happening right now. And when I go down to the school, like I told you, there's good things happening. I see it with my own eyes. Kids are having good lunches and kids are playing together. The hallway is all decorated with Christmas decorations. It's really, really good. It feels good. So keep
Thank
up the
you, David.
great work. I just want to say that to you and your staff. So keep up the great work.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Margie, for your leadership as well as our past chair, and thank you to all the board members for your support. I appreciate it. It's all teamwork.
Thank you,
Yeah,
because I was happy to see you at December 12th. So we went through the shrine too. So he met like every single person sitting in the shrine. So that was good to
great.
know. But like you said,
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, you're the new principal." Some of them didn't even know that he was a principal down there. So that was good that we got to do that too. And like
very
you said,
good.
people are getting to know us and they know who we are. And especially with the test scores like exploding like that, then we're gonna really have a good vibes going on, I think, starting in January. So I'm happy about that. But I'll let you finish up so that because I'll have to head out here. But thank you for everything. And thank you, Mr. Brown, too, and everybody here.
Yes.
Thank you all again.
Shall we move to our next item
Yeah, go ahead. The next item on the agenda. Yeah, right.
for what's that announcement, right?
Right. It's the announcements.
Okay.
They usually do the second Thursday of the month. So it looks like the second Thursday of the month is already going to be January the 8th.
Okay.
That's too close to the Christmas season, or we're not back in school yet, or we just come back to school like 2 days prior to that date, we might again have to move it again. So it's up to everybody on the board.
I think it'll be good to move it to the week after we come back.
Okay. So would that be the 15th of January then? That would be the following Thursday? Yeah. Yeah. That would be the third Thursday of the month, the 15th, right?
So do we need to take a board vote on that or
No,
I'm available
no?
as everybody else. Yeah. So you could just make that announcement that that's when we'll have it. And if something changes between now and then, we can change it.
Okay, so Mr. Jordan, we can tentatively move it to the 115,
okay.
2026.
No, that sounds good. I'll leave this as is, and then once we put that in our meeting minutes, when Jensen gets to them, I'll make sure that reflects, and I'll send an email out reminding everybody that it's been moved to the following Thursday.
Okay, that's great.
And
Okay,
and then that's it. So the next item on the agenda, if you want to go with that. I'm sorry, I was talking for David because he had texted me that he got locked out and he could hear but he couldn't talk and all that. So I was helping him. So that's why I was yapping too much. But I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:20 p.m.
okay. Margie has made a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:20 p.m.
This
All
is
those,
Patrick, second.
okay. Thank you, Patrick, for making the second.
And
All
then
those in favor,
we just
Margie,
have to see if each. I agree.
Patrick,
I agree.
LaDonna.
I agree.
All right, and David, I agree. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your attendance and having a good meeting. Again, I
Thank you very
apologize
much.
for my sound.
Yeah, that's one
Thank
more
you
thing
all.
is Susan Baca did get a hold of me. This is Margie and let me know she was in ambulance training at her hospital. So that's why she couldn't be on, but she is still on the board and she is still making strides to attend all the meetings. So like you said, we'll get with her and see if she still wants to be on the board in the future. But I just want to let you know that she did report to me right when the meeting started. So
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful Christmas, happy holidays, and to you and your families. We'll see
Thank
you
you.
at the bonfire.
You as well. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Good
December
night.
19th. I
Bye.
see you
Thank
all.
you. Good night.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, everybody.
everybody. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.